Good morning, good afternoon, guys. Today we're going to be working on my official resume. So, this is the document that we are going to create that you can utilize to apply for positions in the future. Remember, your resume is a living document, it's something that's going to be edited, changed, and crafted as you grow and your experiences change. This is something that needs to highlight who you are, it's your sales pitch, so to speak. It's your marketing pitch to those that are trying to hire you. So you have to think about that person. It needs to look sleek. It needs to be clear. It needs to be consistent in construction, and it needs to be consistent when you're using your fonts. Your spelling and your punctuation need to be professional without error. If somebody sees an error on there, that's immediately going to tell them that this is a person that is not careful or meticulous or circumspect. All words that mean you are not detail oriented. That is clearly an important thing that an employer is going to look for. This is your first opportunity to make a first impression. Remember this: first impressions are extremely powerful. You have got a one-page document. We want to try to limit it to one page that's going to express who we are. You're going to get about 10 to 15 seconds of a glance on it, more than likely. So it's very, very important that it comes off being professional, that it comes off being polished, because that's who you want to be. So, uh, we're going to create my official resume today. We're going to do it a little bit differently. So, we're going to actually do this in Word on our desktops because Word provides a multitude, a tremendous amount of really awesome templates that you can utilize to create a functional and beautiful resume that you can use the rest of your life. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to close off my camera here real quick, and we're going to go into Microsoft Word. So we're going to go down here and we're going to search Microsoft Word, and we're going to open that bad boy up. So when this opens up, you're going to get this blank document. It's probably going to open up in a full screen. Now, one thing you can do right here is you can make this screen smaller by hitting this button, and then you can adjust the size however you want. You might want to have a split screen because you're going to want to refer back to the resume that you did yesterday. The way that you'll refer back is simple. You'll just be go into Canvas, go into that assignment from yesterday, and then you can click on that file on that blue link that you've been working with. It'll pop up, and then you can do them side by side. And the way that we would do that is we'd hit the same thing on this screen, and we would resize this so I can see them side by side. Now, when I get to this right here, I'm noticing something. This is just a blank document. Word on our desktops has a tremendous array and library of templates. So I'm going to go to File, then I'm going to go to New, and here I'm going to search for Resume. Now, this resume, you got to have some parts to it. They're really important. You're going to have an objective statement. This is your personal sales pitch. It can be tailored and crafted for a specific job. In this case, you want to express your soft skills like teamwork or hardworking, diligent, flexible, adaptable. Um, Adjectives that are powerful that speak to who you are. You want to list your desire for experience, your willingness to grow. And you can also express, which I didn't put here, what you're interested in doing. You might want to point out and make that specific to a job you're applying for. So if you're going into the retail industry, you want to get experience working with customers in different activities. If you're going into the food industry, you might want to garner experience in customer service, understanding how the business is run. You want to highlight your desire to grow because at this point, you're young. You're like little baby chicks. And so it's important for you to grow. You're going to have in here your contact info with your name, firstly, and then your correct email address. If you use your personal email address, use that. If you still use your GISD, use that. But you need to use something that you can acquire and that you check because that's one of the ways you're going to be contacted. You need to list your correct phone number. You don't have to have an address, but if you have one and you want to place it there, that's fine as well. That's not necessary, but definitely your correct phone number. So, as we go on, we're also going to list our education. Everybody's education going to be the same at this point. So you're going to have Ball High School. You're going to have your graduation date on there. Um, you can also, under that part, since you don't have a lot of education, you could list relevant, and you should list relevant coursework unless you have another section on there that's dedicated. What is some relevant coursework? Advertising, incubator, economics. If you did graphic design, if you did welding, if you did construction, something that provides you with some skill sets that can be attractive or show your interests. For your skills, because you're going to want to list your skills on here. You're going to list things such as, and we should all have this, Microsoft Office Suite, Google Suite, and then if you have more certifications, you have something from, um, for instance, Adobe or entrepreneurship, anything that highlights skill sets that you have. You're also going to list 2 to 3 and looking for 3 skills that are soft skills. So the first skills I mentioned are hard skills. Those are things that are concrete. Soft skills are like flexibility, hardworking, adaptable, diligent, curious, enthusiastic, personable, affable, friendly. So you're looking for robust adjectives that describe who you are and what you bring to the table. You're trying to remember this is like you're going to the sharks, so to speak. This is you are the product, you're the pitch, and you got to make it look good. For experience, if you don't have experience here, you can list extracurricular activities. You could also list volunteer experience, but clearly, what you want to list here, if possible, is any work experience that you might have. Now, this could include things that you've done at the house. If you've been in childcare, meaning babysitting, you could list that. And when you list your experience, you're going to want to list where you worked, the dates that you worked there. And if you're not for sure, you can just estimate. And then you want to bullet point the tasks that you did, that you completed there. Short points, no more than 3 for each job. You want to keep this at a page. So if you've got a lot of experience, like some of my kids have worked in a lot of places, choose your last 2 to 3. That's what's relevant. When you go do an interview, you can speak to more of it and elaborate. Also, think this way: if I've had 6 jobs and now I'm applying for a job in the food service industry, and of those 6 jobs I had prior, 2 were in the food service industry, then I definitely want to list those 2 jobs as well. As far as references, you can put a note at the bottom, references upon request, or you can simply create another sheet, a reference sheet that we can create with another template where you have those references listed. A reference is somebody that will testify and give witness to your talent, your skills, and your character. So that's really, really important. Now, those are the things it's got to include: objective statement, name, correct contact info, education, skills, and experience. Now the question is, how do I want to set that up? So we came to that new button over here once we came to file. So if I'm going to go back, file, new, and then I'm just going to search resume. I saw Resume Genius just popped up. So when I come here, there are a multitude of resumes. I might want to make this bigger so I can see them better for the moment. You choose what you think is best. If you don't like one, just close it down and start a new file. Same way, file new, and come here and check it out. So there's lots of different ones. I would not do one with a photo right now, just because you don't have a photo, and I think that's just a little strange unless you're sending it electronically. So you can look through all of these. There's some that are really cool. There's some that might not match up with what you want to put on there. But remember this: even if it doesn't match up, this is an editable document. You're able to come into this template and change things up. So let's say I choose this one right here. Okay, so I'm going to choose this right here. I'm going to go with create, and you've got some here. Okay, let's say I'm not really a big fan of this one, but I might be. And if you are, that's great. So I come here, put my name, and here below is where I'm going to actually put my contact info. Um, if you wanted to put here professional student or student, that's fine. But this one, you might have to do a little bit more editing. I don't like it particularly right now, not for this task. So I'm going to close this down. I'm not going to save it. I'm going to go to File, New, search for resume again, and find one that I think is more fitting, perhaps, of what I want to do. And so that's what you're going to need to do to start is to figure out first the format that you want. After you've done that, then it's time to fill in all the information that we just spoke about. So when I look at these, there's lots of them. There's ones that are really good. I'm going to just kind of go with this one right now. Uh, it's pretty simple. It has a lot of what I want on there. And like I said, guys, this one is a very simple one. It works well. For profile, I wouldn't have that. I would have objective. Here I can list all my contact info. If you have a website, you can list it. You don't have a website right now, so if you want to get rid of something, you're just going to simply delete, and you're going to go ahead and complete that. And so that's going to allow you to create the resume that you want. You can change the font. I always say try to be consistent. You don't want to use a bunch of fonts, maybe two at the most. You can even change the colors on some of these things, but I think they can get complicated. So, what I want you to do is make the best resume possible. So, once you're done, you're going to hit the file button. We're going to save this to our desktop. We're going to do save as. We're going to browse right here, and we're going to go into desktop. And we're going to save this as this, my resume, and then underscore, which is the shift right next. So hit the shift key, and then right next to the zero, those two lines, you're going to put your name. Okay, don't put your name, put your name. Okay, you're going to save it to your desktop. All right, so now it's saved to your desktop. So here's what you're going to do next. You're going to upload this file into this submission. So you'll have your submit here. It's going to prompt you then to do a file upload. You would do the file upload by hitting the upload button, searching the desktop under the folders, and then upload that file. That's your first step. Now, here's your last step. After you've uploaded your file, you're going to email yourself this file so you have it on record and you can easily email it to anybody that you want to apply for a job. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go to office.com. Okay. You're going to have to sign in. It's just your Google credentials. This is the same thing as the Google Suite, guys. We haven't played with this as much yet, but we will. This is the same exact thing. It's not quite as easy to use, but it is highly functional and it's a bit more professional when it comes to certain things. So if I go into here, I'm going to click on Outlook. Outlook is the mail function for Microsoft Office. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to come in here. I'm going to do a new message. And I'm actually going to email myself my resume. So I've got this, Stephen Lewis. Yours will be your own. And then I'm going to hit this attach button. First, I'm going to put in my resume so I know what the title is. I'm going to go to attach, browse this computer, and then we're going to go to the desktop button. Okay. And I'm going to come down. Your desktop will not have near this many things on it. It'll probably almost have this. But we're going to look for my resume. You also could have put my right here and it will show up. And I'm going to do the one that does have my name on it. And I'm going to hit the open button. And then I'm going to send this file to myself. And bam, I have this to work on in the future. I can take this on any computer. I can download it. I can edit it and then take the same process to re-email it to myself. That's your task for today. And if you need a little bit of time tomorrow, we can also finish it up. Please, please do not only your best, but your most professional job because I want you to look good. I want you to be successful. And this is one of the first steps in going to places you want to go.